So the title of this video is very self-explanatory, but yeah, I'm just going to dive right into the topic. But before I do that, make sure you like the video, subscribe, that will help me out a ton. But yeah, so the Houston Rockets have played 3 games this NBA season against the Atlanta Hawks, the Memphis Grizzlies, and against the Milwaukee Bucks. 3 legit title contending teams, maybe 2, maybe the Hawks are just a playoff team, but you get the point. And they haven't looked all too bad. I've been very convinced of the stuff I've seen on the offensive side of the ball. However, my biggest concern is Silas's rotation. And I'm going to key in on one player, and that's Tari Eason. Now, please explain to me how Tari Eason was the best player in Summer League, the best player in preseason, in around 24 minutes or something ridiculous. He was averaging 17 and 12, and now he's struggling to get enough minutes on the floor. Now, I fully understand that KJ Martin did earn his minutes, fine, and that Jabari Smith Jr. is the 3rd overall pick, so he's going to have priority. But when it's getting to the point where it's kind of hindering your team and holding back Tari Eason, that's when there's an issue, because I feel like Tari can add a lot to this team because he's a low usage guy who's still going to get you 17 to 18 points. I was talking to someone the other day and we were having this argument that Tari Eason may not have the biggest bag in the world, but he will still get you points because he'll get you 5 offensive rebounds and he will turn those offensive rebounds into second chance points. So he really does have a skill set that can give you points on low usage and a low amount of field goal attempts, and I feel like he's going to be very effective with his team. Now, my biggest problem is I'm not going to slander Jabari Smith Jr. and I'm going to make a separate video on him in the future, but I just don't feel like he's earned his minutes as much as Tari. And I understand, like I said, he's the high overall draft pick and you have to justify the pick as the front office, but it's holding back Tari Eason, who's not only earned his minutes, he's looked like the best player on this roster when he's played. And even if he's limited minutes, now he's averaging around 7 points, 5 rebounds on 67% from the field and 57% from 3. Now, it's only 3 games, so these stats are going to be inflated, especially the shooting splits, but I don't like how Tari Eason adds so much value to this team and he's being held back game by game. And yes, I do understand he got slightly more minutes last game, but it's not good enough for me because if I'm being honest, Jabari Smith isn't really giving you much. Like, we know he can shoot the ball, but he's not really spacing the floor as well as we know he can. And defensively, he's falling asleep a lot on rotations. And I know I'm nitpicking it, but if I look at, if you swap out the minutes, Tari Eason could potentially, if you have Tari Eason that game, maybe I'm exaggerating, if you play him 30 minutes against the Hawks, in my opinion, you win that game. The Memphis Grizzlies, maybe not, because Ja Morant's just ridiculous, but hey, I'm not knocking Jabari Smith Jr. I'm just not happy with how Tari Eason's been held back. And even though KJ, in my opinion, he had a very good preseason and he started off the season okay, he was one of the better performers against the Bucks yesterday of around 14 points and 6 boards, but I just don't really feel like there's anyone in this roster that warrants Tari Eason not playing 30 plus minutes a game. He's earned it and he definitely would add a lot to this team. So another issue I want to pick is Silas. I really do not understand his rotations at times. And yes, he's a 3rd-year head coach. Now, that's crazy to say. He's actually been the Rockets coach for 3 seasons, and the roster still may not be where it needs to be to contend or to be a playoff team. But I don't really feel like I don't really feel like Silas is helping himself, because I feel like there's times where he's not giving guys enough opportunity. For example, Josh Christopher and Sengun are players who've been playing very well this season and have impressed me, but they're still not clocking and logging in enough minutes. But at the end of the day, I'm not blaming Silas for any of this. I'm not saying it's the reason why they're losing, because the Rockets have actually looked good. I'm just saying that I've not been too impressed with the rotations I've been seeing and the lack of Tari Eason. Like, I don't know how much longer this is going to last for, because I feel like Tari's that good that he's going to play his way into the minutes he deserves. But hey, this whole 3rd overall pick thing, so Jabari Smith has to play, I'm not really a big fan of it. And why can't you just play the 2 together? You know what I'm trying to say? But hey, I'm not hating on Jabari Smith. I just feel like as of now, Tari Eason is the better player and should be getting more or equal amount of minutes. I feel like the minutes spread between the two, instead of Jabari being out there for 32 minutes, then you've got Tari Eason only out there for 15 and KJ out there for 22, 25, between that number. I feel like you should round it out to where they're all getting around 25 minutes, and then whoever's playing the best deserves the minutes and actually earns it. But yeah, like I said 100 times, he's the 3rd overall pick, so you're going to keep having to play him until he finds his feet and finds his stroke from beyond the arc, because I definitely feel like Jabari Smith adds a lot to this team. But like I said 100 times, but Tari Eason is being held back by this team. He's someone who could be up there in the Rookie of the Year race and you're holding him back. He's someone who could really just dominate certain games and you're holding him back. He's someone that can just, even though the rebounding's been fine, he's someone that can just get you so many more offensive boards and you're holding him back from that. And what this offensive board leads to, that leads to second chance points. And if you get more second chance points, that increases your chances of winning certain games. But we'll see how this develops over the season, the next couple of games. I'm sure Tari Eason will eventually get the minutes he deserves, but as of now, I've not really been too impressed. But yeah, let me know what you guys feel about the Rockets. I mean, too impressed with the way Silas has played them, because overall, I'm impressed with how the Rockets have played and how they've looked. They look very good, and I feel like maybe a year or two they'll be ready to not contend, but be a playoff team. But hey, if this is all the plan to get Victor Wembanyama to the H, then I don't really mind, innit? But we'll see how this season goes. But thank you guys for listening to this video. I want to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. Would you play Tari Eason more? Do you feel like I'm exaggerating? Do you feel like he doesn't deserve his minutes? Or would you keep playing Jabari Smith Jr. until he finds his shot from beyond the arc and just starts playing better? Because he's not been great. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'm out. Peace.